Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey, it's Rob Hefner here with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside and, of course, Talk of the Town podcast. Remember, if you've got something you want to know about, you just drop us a note, comment with sending me an email down below. You can ask us on social media, or you can even just stop in. Today, we're going to talk about an important topic, and it's something that a lot of people have heard about in the news, but you don't know that it touches us, especially here locally, and that is fentanyl. I brought in today Vicky Solomon with the Nexus Coalition because that's what her task has been almost 24/7, I swear, for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yes, at least.
Yeah. So first of all, we talk about fentanyl. We talk about the drug cartels in Mexico. We talk about the fact that it's coming up through Mexico. We hear all this kind of stuff in the news. Of course, there was just the attack, but that had nothing to do with fentanyl, but it had to do with medical things. Fentanyl, what is fentanyl?
You bet. So fentanyl is a painkiller. It's very powerful. And doctors prescribe it. In hospital usage, it's good and helpful. But when the cartels get a hold of it, then that's whenever it gets twisted. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's about 50 times stronger than heroin. And right now it's on the streets. About 6 out of 10 pills are going to be found laced with fentanyl, a deadly dose of fentanyl. So fentanyl could be good if it's in the hospital and used properly. But if we're using it on the streets and getting it from the cartel, it's not good at all.
Okay, so there's drugs like heroines, there's opioids. Why do they create it? Why did it get created in the first place?
I love that question, Rob. I actually kind of looked it up to figure out why was it created in the very beginning. In 1959, it was created, and it was actually used for cancer patients. Is what it was initially created for, is cancer patients. It's about 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, and so you know how potent morphine is.
But do we need something that's 50 times more potent than morphine?
Let's say that you're out working in the logwoods and you cut your arm off, and you go into the hospital. You're in a severe amount of pain. That's when they're going to use the fentanyl. Okay. Severe.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a need for it. There is an actual need, and it was created for a reason that wasn't nefarious, right?
Correct. So the need in the hospitals, yes. Outside of hospitals, really, there's not a need. Like you said, the drug cartel, the Sinaloa cartel, is the main one that is using it. They're actually mixing things in a bucket, putting a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Then they get a pill press, and they're making counterfeit pills that looks like it was from our pharmacies, and then by the millions. I believe last year the DEA said there was 120 million pills that were retrieved, and so these cartels initially they were making them blue.
Yeah.
And then they changed colors. I know you've heard of the rainbow colors.
Yeah.
And doesn't that make you a little bit angry if you have children and grandchildren?
So let me pivot into this children thing, because there have been children right here in town within the last week or so that have died.
Yes.
Because of fentanyl.
Yes.
And died in their mother's or their father's arms.
Yes.
And is this a moral thing? I mean, is this just bad parents, and parents just aren't doing their job right?
Absolutely
and they're missing something?
Not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. So, back in our high school days, we could go to a party and, have fun and not die. Okay.
Right.
In today's world, literally one pill can kill somebody. And it's just different today. Because of those fentanyl-laced pills, really you could take one pill and not know how much fentanyl is inside of it. Nobody knows how much it is.
Yeah.
And that one pill can kill. And that's what's happening to these youth is they don't know that's happening on the streets.
Right.
And they don't think that it's going to happen to them.
So how do I talk to my kids and my kids' friends about fentanyl?
You bet. So, first of all, don't wait for the right time. Just look for those teaching moments when you're in a car. You've got, there's your captive audience right there. I find whenever I was raising my teenagers, it was harder to sit on the couch and talk to them. But if we went for a walk where there was movement going, the conversation flowed a little bit better. So just look for those teaching moments every single day. And first of all, if you don't have that conversation started, you need to build that relationship and start a conversation so that you can talk about harsh things like fentanyl-laced pills.
Yeah.
But it's very important that we are talking to our youth about that.
So if I talk to my kids about normal things and, say no to this or say no to that, I mean, do I really need to just talk about fentanyl? Is there a real read?
I would highly recommend it, yes, only because really we've never had this before where you can literally take one pill and die from a pill.
Right.
In the past, it hasn't been as crucial. So absolutely. And as far as age appropriation, right now, the initiation age of kids being introduced to drugs and alcohol is 12 years old. So if we think about that, we want to educate. Primary prevention is before 12.
Yeah.
So Nexus Coalition likes to go to our fifth graders, which are 10 years old.
Yeah.
And that's our target market is starting at 10 years old.
But you can't start too soon, can you?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I have a 3-year-old granddaughter, and we talk about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Of course, you've got naloxone that's available for those because it is a serious thing. And like you said, one pill. So it's not like you're chasing down somebody. The other part of this is it's highly addictive. So it's in that opioid kind of family of things. And that is highly addictive. It's not a judgment thing. It's not a morality thing. It's not a you didn't do things right thing. It's a one shot, boom, dead.
Exactly. Nexus Coalition has lots of resources, pamphlets, brochures, trainings. Everything we do is free, and we'd love for people to reach out, and we would help them all that we can.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Once again, that's Vicky Solomon with the Nexus Coalition. This is Rob Hefner for the town of Pinetop-Lakeside. Remember, all the information we're going to link down below. If you have any questions, stop in, ask, or give us a call, or drop an email. Thanks.